I want to capture some of this. So what happened?
Sorry.
You were driving, and what happened?
I'm driving to go show a house to a buyer I have, and a woman that I made contact with a year ago and gave information. I was cold calling. And so she called me yesterday because she's ready to list her house. And she said she made it really clear that she was going to talk to other agents, but she had saved my information. And what I also noticed is, I want to work with seniors, is that of the people I'm working with, 75% are seniors.
Woo!
So,
Wow!
yeah, it's just kind of
Wow!
amazing to me. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Terry? You know,
Hey.
hey, good to see you, brother. You know, it's quite amazing, Susan, because last week, we talked about the domestic violence, that you were a survivor of, and you made a commitment. I saw your homework. I saw that you worked it in. You worked it in there. You worked it in very nicely.
Okay,
And
it wasn't flippant. I was worried it would be flippant the way I did it.
I thought it was very thoughtful, actually,
Okay,
because
thank
the way you put it, you were like, when you put the rapids, you've done so many rapids, or you've conquered the rapids and so on. It was kind of like, look, I've survived it all. Bring it on. It wasn't flippant. It was just like, this is what it is. This is what's up. So, well,
Okay,
welcome to the party, everybody. My intention is to start off every week with a little dance party. I mean, if we can't, we got to have fun with this. This is, I choose your new affirmation. I choose to make it fun and easy. Okay. You write that one down. I choose to make it fun and easy. Okay. And if we're not having fun, what's the point? And I know that for some, the fun has kind of dwindled. And so we want to make real estate fun again. Well, welcome to our call. This is the Knolly Coaching Club, our weekly call, our weekly time together. This is when you and I get to sit down. I get to look at your business, and I get to share with you how to take your business to new heights, to new levels. And I'm excited to do it. I'm actually in my home for the last time. Last week, you remember I was in my office, which is completely gutted, cleared out, empty. And now I'm in my kitchen this week, and we are leaving on Sunday to Orlando. We've got a event with EXP. It's a shareholders event. And then Tuesday is the last day of that event. And Wednesday, I fly to Puerto Rico to close on my new property, on our new house. So I'm super excited for this phase of my life. And it's super exciting. I'm glad that you guys are on the journey with me. Okay. So every single thing that I've learned and everything that I'm learning is what I'm going to teach you. So that's the reason why we're here together. And thank you so much for that, Susan. I'm going to come back to you in a minute. But before I do that, let me make Chris.
Yes, I was about to say that.
Yeah. You got to get on here early, Chris, to have fun. See, we had a little dance party. Those of you that came in late, y'all missed the dance party. It was a lot of fun. We're going to do that every week. I'll try to do that. That's my intention. So, today, I really want to continue in our theme of building trust. Okay, building trust with your client. And some of the things that you're learning, you might be like, man, Knolly, I already know that. Somebody's not muted. Who's not muted? We can hear your dog. We love dogs, by the way. But okay, so the thing is, some of the things that you're learning, you're like, Knolly, I knew that already. But come at this with beginner's mind. Okay, I go to all the major conventions that our company puts on, and of course, I'm 90% of the stuff I already know. Okay, and I had a gal tell me one time. She said, Knolly, why do you have a coach? You are a coach. I'm like, well, you have to come at it with beginner's mind. That means I just woke up today, I was born today. I don't know anything. Okay. And by the way, most of the things that we think we know, we don't really completely know. Jacqueline says, we are your apprentices. Oh, I like that. That's really good. Really, really good. Good stuff. So Susan, I want to talk to you for a minute. So I love that you worked in the domestic violence thing, and let's take a look at that real quick. I want Let me see if I can find, because I had your homework pulled up. Actually, let me just share my desktop and we'll do it that way. Be easier. Where do I have your, I think, oh, there's Word Up. That's what we were jamming, y'all. Cameo. Uh-huh. Some of you guys know about that, but I get it if you don't. No hard feelings. All right. So I was actually reviewing Susan's homework before we began the call. And I love it. I really love it. Just a couple of suggestions for you, Susan. And this was our homework from last week. And by the way, a shout out to Jacqueline and Susan for uploading, their homework. I'm going to show you guys how to post the homework because I realized I wasn't very clear on how to do that last week. So I'll be more clear this week to show you how to do that. So this is the top 10 reasons to trust you. Okay. And no matter what profession you're in, whether you sell houses, and actually there's people in our group that don't even sell houses, they're in other areas of entrepreneurship. No matter what your area is, you should have your top 10 reasons. Rosemary said she emailed the homework. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. So I'm going to give you a better strategy for upcoming weeks on how to get the homework to us. But thank you, Rosemary, for getting that to us. So just a couple suggestions. I love your top 10 reasons, Susan. I would just make the font size a little bigger because you want to go ahead and fill it up all the way to where it drops all the way to where, where it kind of fills up the page, if you will. So I would go with a slightly, now here's where you worked in. We talked last week with Susan about the fact that she's a survivor of domestic violence. Okay. And in my book, being transparent and see, here's what happened. A lot of people think that the universe works in a linear fashion, and that's not the way God set it up. Okay. It's not the way God set it up. The way God set up the universe, it's non-linear. Okay. So in other words, this is why I'm going to stop sharing for a minute because I want to share this. I want to make sure you guys understand this. The universe is set up in a non-linear fashion. Okay. This is something you need to take note of. This is very important for you to understand this. So linear means that A plus B equals C. Okay. And as a person of math and as a person of, I love engineering and things like that. I love the concept of A plus B equals C, but it's not how the universe is set up. See, the way the universe set up, it says, this is why Christ said, give and it shall be given back to you, pressed down, shaken together, okay, and running over in such a way that you will not even have room to receive it. Okay, you won't even have room to receive it. We got waiting room people there, Chris. I know you're taking an eye on that. So what that means is that when you do something, when you declare something, when you put something out there, and I don't care how woo-woo this sounds to you, I'm just going to tell you how it works. When you declare something, okay, it's going to come back to you, but it will not typically come back in the vehicle that you delivered it in. Okay. So for example, Susan said, hey, I'm going to start declaring that I'm a survivor of domestic violence. And guess what happened? She got 2 deals. In fact, she was saying, well, if I start doing this, remember last week, those of you in the call, she said, if I start doing this, won't people not want to work with me? That was her hang up. That was her self-limiting belief. And what we worked through on that was, no, that's not how it works. When you make a declaration, people will clamor to you, okay? And the right ones will come to you, right? So it's not that you made a declaration to those people, Susan. You made a declaration to us as a group, and now these people are showing up in your life because you removed a barrier. See, whenever you don't share something about your story with others, you have put up a wall. You've put up a barrier to that individual, to everybody. Okay, you're not letting us in by not sharing the full story of who you are, who Susan is. So I want all of you to kind of learn from that. When you send out a postcard mailing to 500 houses, you might get 3 listings in another neighborhood. Okay, but the way God set it up, okay, and God is in control of the universe. Okay, so the way the universe works is that when you put in the work, you get the result, but the result may not come directly from where you put the work in. Okay, you have to understand that. It's just the way things are. Okay, so so I hope that that is very clear to you guys. But yeah, let me go back to your homework real quick. Sometimes I'll I get a little bit sidetracked, but I think that was very important. Um, by the way, when I'm teaching, the Holy Spirit is constantly speaking to me. So what happens is if I ignore the voice of the Spirit, James says, do not quench the Spirit. I'm just bothered my whole lesson because I'm like, leave me alone, stop talking to me, And but the reality is I have to share the word. So sometimes we go down a little rabbit hole. So here on number 9, and I was scouring through this, Susan, to see to make sure that you did put it in, and I applaud you for putting it in. You kind of snuck it in, but I'm okay with that. It says Susan brings valuable life experience to the table. She has conquered bone marrow cancer, wow, domestic violence, and class 5 rapids on an inflatable kayak. I mean, who wouldn't want to work with you? Tell me that, and show me the sucker that would not want to work with you because you're a survivor. I just don't see it, and that's not a person I would want to work with anyway. Is it make more sense to you now, Susan?
Yes. And what I remind myself of is that I'm looking for my people. I'm not, and that is what's going to make my business a pleasure, because we will understand each other. And I don't know if you remember the very first class, or maybe it was the 6-week coaching class. I said, I want to work with people whom I love and with whom I have love, dignity, and respect both ways. And so this allows me to do that, because you're right.
Absolutely.
If they don't get that, then kick them to the curb. I don't need them. So
yeah,
I'll
and what's
kick them
happened
gently.
is, yeah, kick them gently. But the truth is, like we used to say in the day, throw it in the gutter and go get another. But the truth is, it gives you freedom when you're being 100% authentic. You have freedom in that, even if it's a screwed up you. But it's you, and no one can take that away from you. So I appreciate you sharing that. That's beautiful, beautiful.
Thank you.
So let me share with you guys about the. Thank you so much, Susan, for working with me there, and thank you, Eric Garris, for your words of wisdom last week as well. So what I want to share with you guys now is I want to share how to get the homework to us. So the best method, Chris and I were thinking about this, and we feel like, let me close this out. We feel like the best method is going to be in the workplace group. Okay. So what you'll want to do, not workplace, Facebook group, my bad. Let me close this. So what you'll want to do is just, yeah.
Yeah, I think, excuse me, sorry, but I think Sandra Quiroz asked a question.
Yeah. Hi, good morning,
Okay,
everyone.
we'll get to you in a minute, Sandra. We'll get to you in a minute.
Okay, it definitely can wait. Thank you.
Yeah. So, because what I want to get here is I want to show you guys how to upload your homework. So what I recommend is that you, like Susan did right here in the Facebook group, she went ahead and uploaded it right there. Okay. So we actually have okay. So let me table that. So upload it there, and then you could upload it. You could just save it to Dropbox, or save it to your Google Drive, and then paste us the link to the homework. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish is that we have all of the homework in one mutual place so that everyone can see the homework and kind of weigh in on it, get ideas, get tips, and we can all learn from each other. Okay. So it's not just you guys learning from me, it's all of us learning together from each other. So that would be preferred. And I actually posted it. If you will go to the featured tab here, you'll see my pinned post. And I actually put a post there. How do I post my homework to the group? Okay. So that's how we'll do it in the future. Go ahead, Sandra.
Yes, thank you. I was wondering, is it possible to turn in late homework? I've just had my own emotional struggles, just getting reacclimated into the business. So do you all accept late homework, Knolly?
Yes. Yeah. I'm not that teacher, right? You know, my thing is the success that you guys have is a success. Now you will have success by doing the homework. My
Yeah.
homework is not just random. It's not like, going to the board and taking the board, like when I got my broker's license. That was like the dumbest homework ever. Okay. Pete, you need the keys? You heading out? Yeah, they're hanging by the garage. Okay. Okay. So this, my homework is not lame. It's good. It's good homework. And when you're done, what's going to happen is when you're done with this series that we're doing together, uh, 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 Sandra, is you'll have actually all the tools that you need to gain trust.
Yeah.
And that way you'll never have to have a competition. You'll basically be able to eliminate most of the competition, and you'll gain their trust. They'll want to work with you, and they'll be happy to pay your fee. You won't
Okay.
have to negotiate your fees and stuff like that. So,
Okay. Thank you.
so yeah, no problem. You can upload it when it's ready.
Thank you.
Terry says, you're welcome. Terry says, did my homework, 21 reasons I would get this narrowed down. It was just unclear. Didn't know you wanted this. Yeah. And I wasn't very clear last week that I would love for you guys to turn in your homework, because that way I know you're doing the work. I know that if you do the work, you'll get the result. Okay. Like my friend Curtis Johnson, he says, don't complain about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. That's a writer downer. Don't complain about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't do. Right. And then Susan's sharing a great book, Doris Lessing's A Briefing for a Descent into Hell. Ooh, that's deep. I haven't read that one, but Dr. Hawkins talks about that book. Alessandra says there will be critics, but that's great because you didn't want to work with them anyway. That's right. So good. You guys are awesome. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I want to go into the presentation for this week. So again, the reminder is if you weren't here last week, make sure that you watch last week's lesson where I taught you how to create your top 10 list, top 10 reasons for people to trust you. Okay. And we got a waiting room. You got it, Chris. I said you got it. Okay. So with that, let me jump into today's, because we've got quite a bit. By the way, on these calls together, I promise that I won't ever bring you more than one thing. Okay. Because what I noticed in the feedback that I was getting, I'm always open for feedback, is that, how can I improve is probably the best question. By the way, let me just share this with you. If you really want to know somebody's opinion on something, just ask them how you can improve. Okay. If I was at a restaurant the other day having Thai food, and the guy says, was everything okay? That's a terrible way to ask for feedback. Was everything okay? That's like, that's a yes or no. You always want to ask an open-ended question. Okay. So the question would be, how could we have done better today? Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Jones, how could we have made your experience better with selling your home? That's the kind of question where you're going to get the honest feedback. Okay. And they'll tell you, because you're asking for improvement. Okay. So, all right, let me share. So I'm only going to give you one nugget, and the piece of feedback that I got was that I was giving you guys too much to do. And so I determined that in this class, when I launched Knolly Coaching Club, I was, instead of giving you, because I thought I was packing value, but instead of giving you, okay, here's 10 things to do this week, it's only going to be one thing. Okay. So today, we're going to talk about your value proposition. And this is the wrong slide. Oh, that was last week. Yeah, there we go. So last week we talked about your top 10 list. This week, we're going to talk about using 5-star reviews to build your business. It's super, super critical.
You got muted, Knolly.
Boss, yeah.
Okay. How did I mute myself? I got to figure out. That was slick. How much did y'all catch?
What happens is when the co-host is letting people in, if they get in, then it defaults their mouse click right to your mute button.
Oh, I see. I see. That's a good tip. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Yeah. So I got muted. Chris did it. Okay. All
Okay, I'll take it.
right. No, it might have been me. All right. So 5-star reviews, super duper important. And today we're going to talk about how to get them. Okay. And how to get more of them. Remember, Proverbs 10:22, one of my favorite scriptures, the blessing of the Lord brings wealth without painful toil for it. Okay. And when you're getting these reviews, your wealth actually will come quicker because people will trust you faster. Okay. This is the format of how I like to teach. 10 minutes for announcements review, 20 minutes of teaching, 30 minutes of coaching. Okay. And I want you to leave every single week with something that you can implement that week. Okay, that's going to help grow your business. Remember, the 3 types of freedom that I'm after for you are financial freedom, time freedom, and location freedom. That's the freedom I have. Right now, the biggest thing I'm trying to figure out is how can I run these Zooms from the beach? Because Josie and I have a beach that's walking distance from our house. And so I'm going to be on the beach, so that's kind of, I want you to have those kind of problems in your life. Okay, is how can you, run your life from the beach? This is you inside your business. We talked about this before. You're in the maze, you're in the weeds, you're in the minutia, you're in the day-to-day, you're in the grind, you're in the hustle. I want to pull you out of that and have you working on your business by getting you to be above the maze instead of in the maze. Very important. And you do that by dialing in your 3-hour workday. There's no way to get around that. You've got to start being very purposeful with your workday and how you have it set up. And you could start off by just time blocking 3 hours. But what I did this morning is I got up at 5:30 and I did my time block from about 5:30 to 7. I do 90 minutes in the morning. And then right now I'm going to be with you guys for an hour. And then I spend about 15 minutes setting up the call. I'm going to be with you for an hour and I'll spend maybe another 15 minutes after the call doing little things. And that's my day. Okay. But you can start off by just having a work day within a work day by carving out 3 hours for dollar productive activities. And then later on, you'll have where 3 hours is all you have. It's all you work with. Okay. It's a test drive in this group. If you're still in the test drive phase, you've got 30 days to check it out. If you love it, you stay. You paid $1, you got the value. And if you don't get value, we don't want you to stay. We want you to, if you're not receiving values, you shouldn't be paying, right? This is our book of the month. How many of you guys are starting to dig into this? I want to see how many of y'all have been digging into your wish is your command. Okay. Is it powerful? Huh? It's powerful, right? Yeah. I see Jacqueline. Yeah. I see you guys. Yeah. Sandra. Yeah. It's powerful stuff.
Mind changing.
Oh my goodness. It will change your life. And every book that I recommend for you guys is going to be like that. In fact, I'm reading one right now. Let me see if I can put my hand on it. This is now, you guys know I read about a book a week, and I've been slowing down on that because so much reading is, you can go down a rabbit hole, but this is the one I'm reading right now, Die with Zero. And it is just what it says, how to set up your life where you actually have maximum enjoyment in life instead of just leaving millions of dollars on the planet, if you will. It's a very thoughtful book, by the way. Die with Zero. My mentor, Curtis Johnson, recommended it to me. That's by Bill Perkins. That is not the book of the month. It's just what's on my reading list right now. I'm almost finished with this one. Next month is going to be another powerful book. But make sure you make your way through these book of the months, because if you don't read the books, then you're not really doing the work. You're only doing half the work. Okay. It's very important. My job is to help you rewire, transform yourself, rewire your mind, which is going to rewire your entire company, your business. Okay. So your value proposition on getting people to trust you is with Google reviews. Okay. You got your top 10 list already. Now we're going to get you with some Google reviews. So this is really what we call third-party validation. It's so important for you to be validated, not just by yourself, okay, but by others. So important. And what you're doing when you do that is you're showing prospects your results. Okay, now when we when we used to go after this, we used to call them testimonials. Anybody been around long enough to remember? We used to say, hey, could I get a testimonial from you? Now, I don't want you to use that word in the future, because when you use the word testimonial, what do you comes to mind? If I say, hey, can I show you a few testimonials about my, what comes to mind? You're automatically thinking, right? This guy's just going to try, he what is this? Testimonials, The new word that we like is reviews, or case studies is another good one. Can I show you a few case studies? I've worked with I've worked with a bunch of people just like in your same situation. In fact, I've got a few case studies. You mind if I share those with you? Okay. One of the things that I use when I'm asking somebody is I ask them, would it offend them? I say, Alessandra, would it offend you if I shared with you a few case studies of people that were in your same situation that I've helped to success? Would that offend you? They're like, no, that wouldn't offend me, right? So instead of asking, can I share this with you? I just say, hey, will it offend you if I give you this? So people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. We talked about this last week. And what you want to do is you want to set up your Google My Business account. Now, if you don't already have an account, you should set up one immediately. If you have an account already, then you should be pimping it out. You should be tweaking it. You should be making it nice. Make sure it's up to date, okay? And make sure that people are sending you reviews to your Google My Business. Now, a lot of times people ask me all the time, they say, Knolly, should I get them on Yelp? Should I get reviews on Zillow? Should I get reviews on Google? Where should I be getting reviews? Google, okay? Google, period, okay? When you get reviews on Zillow, now guess who owns that? Is Zillow owns it, right? Now, Google owns Google, yes, but what's the number one search engine in the world? Yeah, you guessed it, Google. And so who's going to be around probably in the next 10 to 20 years? Yeah, probably Google. So I would say you can get reviews everywhere if you choose, but make sure that you have your reviews on Google first and foremost, okay? Now, by the way, I'm going to share these slides with you. So when you get my slides, like I'm sharing with you right now, they're actually hot linked. So there'll be links inside the slides. When you open them up, you'll be able to click. So let me share with you, who doesn't, let me go to a different view. Raise your hand if you want to see more about how to set this up. Let me know if you guys already got this. If you already got this, raise your hand. You already got it. Okay, so some of you already got it, but I say the majority of you need this. So let me just share. I'm going to share like a 1-minute video with you. Let me share this video right here.
In this video, we'll show you how to add a business on Google Business Profile. If the business already exists on Google or someone else has claimed the business, you can request ownership. If your business is not yet on Google, you can add your business. In Google Maps, click Menu and click Add Your Business. Enter the name of your business or chain. You can also click your business name from the list of suggestions that appear as you type. Then click Next. The order of the following steps may vary depending on which type of business you're adding. Select if your business serves customers at a location where customers can visit, like a store or an office. Enter your business address. Click Next. Select if you visit or deliver to your customers. If your business doesn't have a physical location, but works in a service area, you can list the city or town instead. Add the phone number you want to connect to your business. You can add your business website URL. This site will be included in your business profile. Click Next. You're almost done. To be able to fully manage your new business profile, you'll need to confirm it's yours. You can choose how you'd like to verify your business from the options shown on the screen. Once you're done, you can start promoting your business, tracking business analytics, and gathering customers' reviews.
All right, so that's super duper simple. You want to set up your Google My Business page, okay? And I know you guys might have questions around this, but I want to share a couple more things with you first. Um, this is my page, okay? And so you can see here I have over 170 5-star reviews, okay? And by the way, I have a couple of 1-star reviews. They're actually hilarious. So if you if you want to go to my Google my Google business page, check it out. You'll actually, if you click this image, it should take you right to my page. And so you can kind of read some of the 1-star reviews. They're interesting, actually, because you're not going to please everybody. You know, that's just the way it is, right? That's how it is. But you want to start building up your reviews, even if you only have 10 good reviews on there. What's going to happen is that's going to be great for SEO, for ranking, for search engine optimization, for those that don't know that term. And so that when people start to search for you on Google, the more you interact with your Google My Business page, the higher your ranking is going to be organically. Okay, organically. By the way, I just learned this week that if you have a Google My Business page, which you should have, and every one of you is going to have it after today, if you don't, you should be posting on there at least twice a week. And just learn that. It's for the algorithm to really, really, really work with you in the sweet spot. You want to be posting to it twice a week. And all that is uploading a photo or video. That's it, to your business. Uploading a photo or video, because you can't really post to it. You could before when they had Google Plus, but you'll upload a photo or a video, and the video has to be less than 60 seconds. Okay, but do that twice a week, and you'll get a higher and better ranking that way. So your exercise this week, okay, this is a big exercise. You're going to set up your Google My Business page, and you're going to obtain your first 10 reviews. Okay. Your assignment, should you choose to accept it, is that. Okay. And you're like, Knolly, what? I don't have time. Yes, you do have time for this. So I want to talk to you about how to get reviews, even if you're brand new in the business. I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. But before I do, I'm going to share with you a couple other things. You want to make sure that you add reviews to your website as well. Okay, super important that whatever website you have, you're adding your reviews to it. So if you notice, if you go to my Knolly coaching site, and pretty much all my websites, I'm going to have some reviews in there somewhere, you know, and typically they're going to be toward the bottom of the page somewhere. So here's some that I have here, right? And all I'm doing here to put these on there is I'm just taking a screenshot of the review, and then I'm uploading it to that particular website, right? So, or you have your, whoever does your website. By the way, I do all my websites. I don't know if you guys knew that already. I use ClickFunnels, so I just go in and do them myself. So I don't leverage that piece for whatever reason. I don't know if you guys know that when I was 18 years old, I became a graphic designer. And so I started a magazine when I was like 20, 21 maybe. And I've basically been doing graphic design and stuff since. That's like my first profession. So a lot of this stuff I do, but I just love doing it, and I just do it. I used to love doing video editing until that got to the point where it's like, you ain't doing no more video editing because it's too time consuming. And then I hired Paul, who's way better than me, by the way. So you want to make sure that you add the review. You don't have to do that this week. Okay. This week, you're just going to obtain 10 reviews. Next week, this week coming up. But at some point, you have to add those reviews to your website. And you also want to create what I call a review spotlight info sheet. This doesn't have to be done again this week. Let me show you what that looks like. And you're going to have all these examples in the folder that I give you after the class. Okay. So, but let me show you. Let me share. Hold on 1 second. Okay. All right. So This is an example where I talk about the unique Knolly team sales system, and I show, the results that I've gotten. And this is just a handful of quote testimonials or reviews, if you will. But you want to at some point have a PDF sheet that goes with your package, your pre-listing package or your seller package or your sales package that you have. Because this is, even though you have your Google reviews, you also want to have a sheet with some of your best reviews on it. Okay. That's really, really important to have that. And I'm going to give you that, the template that I use. And then let me, couple more things I'm going to say, and then I'm going to go right over to your questions, comments, and suggestions, etc. So let me cancel that. Let me. Okay, so there's three things. Number one, you want to have your Google My Business page. Write that down. Number two, you want to have your reviews. You want to add your reviews to your website at some point. Okay. And number three, you want to have a reviews spotlight info sheet. Okay. Those are the three things that you want to have in your arsenal that showcase, third-party validation. All right. Now, what are we going to talk about next week? I'm going to close the gap on this, but next week we're going to talk about, it's just going to be an open coaching call. Okay. So I know that I'm giving you guys a lot of homework, and three weeks out of the month, you're going to have a homework assignment. 1 week, you won't have a homework assignment. And that'll give some of you guys time to catch up. Right? All right. So next week, you'll just be able to ask me questions, your treasured questions. You just come to the call with them, and Uncle Knolly will, and that's actually when I shine the most, I think, is during Q&A. What I want to talk about next, real quick, is I want to talk about how do you get reviews. I'm going to give you two techniques. Okay, number one, I'm going to share with you how to get reviews if you're new to the business. Number two, I'm going to share with you how to always get reviews from your clients. Let me do how to always get reviews first. Okay, now we all know that when we ask our client for review, most of them don't do it. Okay, they love you, but they just won't do the review. So here's what I do to get around that. Anybody ever experienced that? Like you ask somebody for reviews, but they just don't take the time to sit down and, yeah. So I see quite a few. So I'm going to share with you what I do to make sure I get reviews. So what I do is I call up, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, did you guys tell me more about, or what was your thoughts? What did you like most about our transaction together? And they'll tell me, oh, Knolly, we love that you did this and this and that and that and that and whatever. And they'll tell you what they loved about it. And you're just taking notes. And then what you say, you know what, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I love how you said that. Would you mind if I just condense that into like 2 or 3 sentences and send it over to you for your approval? Because I'd love to have that review in writing. And they'll say, of course, you're going to write it for me? Duh. And so you write it up based on what they said. You write out 2 or 3 sentences. You condense what they said, and then you send it to them and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, does this more or less sum up what you said or what you feel about? And they're going to say, yeah, that you nailed it. You hit it perfectly. Great. Well, could you copy and paste that to this link? I'm going to give you a link. All you have to do is copy, paste, and boom, that's it. So you want to make it easy for people to do business with you and to do the things that you're asking them to do, right? All they've got to do now is click the link, copy, paste, hit 5 stars, and they're done. Takes them less than 10, 15 seconds. So that's a surefire way to make sure that you actually get reviews, is to write the reviews for them. Okay. It's the way I got most of the reviews in my real estate business. Now, I didn't tell them what to say. They said it, and I just re-articulated it into a written format. Now, secondly, what I want to share with you is, let's say you're brand new in the business and you've never even sold a house. How are you going to get 10 reviews? Anybody got any ideas? How are you going to get 10 reviews? What are your thoughts?
You can reach out to friends and family and have them review your character, what kind of person you are. It doesn't have to be about home sales is that you're trustworthy, you show up on time, those kind of things, is one of the ways.
Yeah, I love that, Eric. You're right on, buddy. That's it. That's it. Eric just nailed it. So I don't even have to teach that. So the way, and a lot of people have trouble with this, Eric, because they're like, well, I'm gonna spotlight you, Eric, because the reason why they have trouble with it is because it doesn't feel authentic to them, or they feel like it's being disingenuous. No, all if you have reviews, like Eric said, okay, you previously had a place where you worked, you could have 3 or 4 of your former coworkers review you and say, Jacqueline is absolutely incredible to work with. I absolutely love everything about Jacqueline. I love her ability to do this, this, and that. Jacqueline is a person you can trust. Period. That's all you got to say. And then you got the review, right? You don't have to say she sold my house, or she did this for me, or we did a deal together. No, it doesn't have to be any of that. So
You
right
don't
on,
want them to
Eric.
lie in their review. You do not want fake
Don't.
reviews. They're very easy to spot. They're very easy to tell that it's fake. Don't write your reviews yourself, like that or anything. Just the more honest and having them in their words say about you, and anything that, like it says, is really about your character. What are they? It's people that they know, like, and trust and value, right? So you want people that know you, that like you and trust you, to say that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There you go. There you go. And the cool thing about that is, like with my previous exercise for you to write that for them, that, you could reserve that for somebody that you really want their review, but they're just not putting their review. Like, you've been waiting 2 or 3 weeks for the review and they're just not doing it. And then you just say, look, I'm going to put this together for you. And then you can tweak it. Just make it however, but like Eric said, you do not want to do fake reviews. You'll get kicked off Google. You'll get spotted. You'll be caught out, and it's going to come to light. Anything you do in the dark will be broadcast in the light. It guaranteed. Okay. So just get honest reviews of people that review your character. Okay. So that's how you do that. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, so does anybody have any questions? I see a couple of questions there. Chris, I'm going to put the light back on you for a little while. Are there any questions that we didn't address? Because I see Rosemary says, Rosemary is asking if she can transfer from the Zillow reviews to Google. I don't know of a way to do that. Now, I'm not telling you not to get Zillow reviews. I'm just telling you that if something happens with Zillow, where they choose to start charging you for showcasing your reviews or whatever, if you're building your nest with Zillow, I don't recommend that. Now you could easily transfer those reviews by just copy pasting the review, sending it to the client and saying, hey, you reviewed me here. Would you mind clicking this link and pasting your review over here? And then it's the same client reviewing you, if that makes sense. Okay, any questions we need to tackle, Chris?
I think basically you answered it before they ask for it.
Okay, good. Okay.
So now I got a question.
Michelle, hold on 1 second. I see Michelle says, I heard they are doing away with Google My Business. The name is changing, yes, but that will never be done away with. They're making billions of dollars with that company. So the name, if I'm not mistaken, the name did change, or is in the process of changing. So go ahead, Terry.
Yeah. So my question was, so with the Google review, obviously, pretty easy to go to my business account and get that set up, and then call my clients and get a condensed review. Totally got it. Write it down. So can I put that in something with the Google review and send it to them and have them?
No.
Okay it? No, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, they have to actually review you on Google.
Okay, so I just send them the condensed review.
Yeah, basically what you'll do if you're writing it for basically your client is telling you what they love about you, and you're just writing it down because they're not bothering to do it. And so you're just becoming like a transcriber. You transcribe what they said, you send it back to them with a link of where to post it.
Okay.
They click on the link, and
Got
let
it.
me see if I can show you guys this.
And while you're doing that, Knolly, a couple people are asking about how to get the link.
Yeah.
So once you create your business listing in Google, there's a few ways you can do it from inside that listing, but a really easy way to do it is just to search your name and how you titled your business listing. And when it comes up, your business listing comes up on Google, there's a button there that says get reviews. And when you click that button, it'll open up a page that you can share it on email or Facebook or WhatsApp. I think are the options, and it gives you a link you can copy and paste there.
Yeah, and what you want to do once you have your specific link, I'm looking for mine right now.
And then just save that link because it'll always
exactly. Yeah, because what I do, okay, so let me just show you guys how I do it as well. Like share. Okay, so what I do is, and I use a something called Simple Note, but it doesn't really matter what you use. So I use keyboard shortcuts. So you see that I just typed in the word. Did y'all see what I just did? Did everybody catch that? So whenever I type in the word REV, it gives me a keyboard shortcut, and that types up the whole sentence of what I want. So that shortcut says, can you do me a favor and just copy paste that as a Google review? It would really help. Thanks so much. Now I use this because a lot of times what will happen is somebody will send me actually a very nice email or a very nice post on Facebook. They'll say something like, Regina, I really love working with you. We are so excited about our new home. They'll put it on Facebook and they'll post it. So then all you do is you private message them and say, hey, could you do me a favor and just copy paste that as a Google review? That way they've already written it about you. I mean, I've got some beautiful stuff that you guys have written about me. And, most of you have already reviewed me on Google. So now this is my Google review link right here. It's kind of a funky looking link, right? HTTPS, but you'll get one just like this whenever you set up your Google My Review, Google My Business account. And then when they click on it, it goes straight to the place where they can review you. Boom. See, y'all see that? Yeah. So, and there's a lot of information out there. If you Google, how to get your review link, you'll find exactly how to get the exact link that's yours.
Boss Precious has a question on chat.
Who's that?
Precious Waters.
Precious? I like
Yep.
that name. I like Precious. What's the question?
Oh, well, can she get additional reviews from webinar training classes?
It was more of an aha moment, that I can actually get additional reviews from my webinars or training classes that I've conducted.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So you had an aha. Yeah, that's important, Precious. Yeah. So tell me more about that, Precious. What are you doing now? You're doing webinars?
Yeah, just more so steps of generating steps of building generational wealth by buying precious real estate or acquiring precious real estate.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, by the way, you guys have my permission because I'm sharing the slides with you. And I hadn't mentioned this in the past, but because I'm sharing the slides with you, you have my permission to reteach these classes to your team and to your group or to your friends or at your local board or wherever you want. I mean, it's proprietary information, but Uncle Knolly is allowing you to take my slides, which I put together, and you can make them your own and you can teach from this stuff. Okay. And have your own training that you do. So I like that, Precious. Generational wealth. That's beautiful. Yeah. And as you're getting people that are telling you stuff on your Facebook group or through Facebook or through Instagram or wherever, TikTok, wherever it is, and they're like, oh, I love the deal that we had last, whatever. You say, hey, could you copy paste that? Because they just reviewed you, and it's that much easier. And they'll be like, yeah, I could do that for you. No problem. Okay.
Knolly, I just took a course with HomeSnap, and one of the things they recommended is to give an answer to reply to every review.
Yes. That's super important, guys. I love that. Yeah. You want to, let me share my screen on that. Thanks, Alessandra. And by the way, the concierge service at HomeSnap is off the chain. I think Artemis, my coach Artemis, is going to be having a, hold on, do you want it? Yes, I want to discard this review. I'm reviewing myself here. So I have 176 reviews, and most of the time, this is my response. So most of the time I like to go in and I'll do a response, right? So, and it'll tell you, like, this is the response. This is Paul Denver. He works for me. You can have people that work for you review you. Why not? He sucks as a boss. Now, you don't want that. Now, you got to be a good boss. So some of these I haven't replied to, but on the app, it'll tell you, hey, you need to go. But it'll show up as response from the owner whenever you reply. You can see some of these I do need to go in and reply to them. And some people are very thoughtful. Look at this long one here. And this is so yeah, you want to reply to them. That's a great point. 10 reviews this week, guys. 10 reviews this week. Does anybody does anybody have questions around that homework assignment?
And Nolly, I don't have a question, but I want to chime in because something else works.
Yeah.
Well, doing a video. So I'll do a video, like if they don't respond, like I send an email out, thanking them for appreciate their business. And, if they felt that I provided 5-star service, please leave me a review here with my Google. And then also please copy it to my Zillow. And most people do it, but then when they don't, like I give them a week and later and I make a quick video and they say, hey, I was just calling, checking in on you. Hopefully everything has been fine with you. I noticed you didn't leave me a review. I would really appreciate it if you help me out grow my business. I put the link here in the text, I love it. Yeah. And that works too.
I love it. I love it. So when you do that, are you, Tanika, are you noticing a good response from the ones that haven't responded?
Yeah, I actually just started doing that. That's what I'm saying. And
okay.
It worked for them. But then I don't know. So my Google My Business was suspended for a little while. I actually get a lot of business from Google. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I get a lot of calls from the Google local, due to Google local ads for agents and stuff. But it was suspended for a while. So then people, like, my reviews are not showing up, and people didn't screenshot me. I didn't, sent in all types of stuff to Google, and they're just sending me back generic stuff. So some.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, my reviews are lost because I guess when they reinstated my Google, the reason why I was suspended because I posted a buyer's guide. I just, in the post, I posted the buyer's guide. I don't know, I was watching something that said, put your guides in the thing. And I just didn't think anything of it. I'm like, it's just the buyer's guide. But that's why it was suspended.
Well, if the buyer's guide, was it copywritten information?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Well, actually, it was a link. Oh, yeah, it might have been because I have Keeping Current Matters, and it's the link to the Keeping Current Matters for the guides. And I just wrote up like a short flip, something like that. And then I had the link there, and the link goes back to the buyer guide page.
Yeah, like whenever you post, and we'll talk about this in future calls. It's very important to understand this. So I do post my seller guides and my buyer guides, but I don't publicly post those, especially if they're copywritten. of course, I write my own. But if you don't, like if you've licensed one from somebody that is, a bulldog about their copywritten material. Like, for example, every time we post a video on YouTube, Chris will notice that, we get basically flagged by YouTube because we have music in the video that's copywritten music. But we've purchased the rights to the music, okay, so that so we don't have to pay a royalty on it. We've already licensed the music. But every time we have to prove to YouTube, we have to go and fill out a form or whatever. Chris has to do that, and then they'll release, they'll release the us to be able to make ads on the video. So you got to be real careful with certain things, especially if they're copywritten. That could have been what flagged it.
Yeah.
The other thing is people are real. A lot of companies are real specific around how you word things. So because they feel like it's breaking the fair housing, rules. So if the buyer guide has content in it that, or even your article has content in it, that they feel is, not inclusive of everyone, then they could really screen you and they could block you because somebody could complain. Like if I said, like, my house is for sale right now, and I say this would be a perfect home for a husband and wife or for a couple, well, that's discriminatory. So they'll be like, that would get flagged right away. It's like, what do you mean a husband and wife? What if you mean I have to have a wife to move? That kind of thing. So you have to be real careful these days. There's certain things that you could post that could flag it. So did they ever tell you why they suspended it?
No, they just sent this generic. It was driving me crazy for like over a month. I was like, because first, whatever explanation it was, because we with EXP and our main office is in Oxon Hill. So I'm thinking that, all of us using the same office, and I'm not an individual business. And so I kept sending in, and they just kept sending generic stuff back. So I'm like, wow. Yeah. I was like, one day I was like, let's go through each tab. And then I saw it was flagged. And I was like, why didn't they just tell me this what it was? And then when I deleted it, and I resent it, and then they just reinstated. I'm like, wow. All that time. Wow. I thought it was the address from changing my name on my Google business. And then I took the address out, added my home address. I was going crazy because I was like, I need my Google.
Hey, let me brag on Tanika. I always like to brag on you, Tanika. You don't like the attention, but I like it for you. So Tanika started with me. She started working with me a couple of years ago, and she was before that she had been a part-time agent, and now she had the best year of her career last year. She's making more than $15,000 a month right now. Okay, and I just say that, Tanika, this is a private conversation with our group. I say that because I want people to understand that when you do the work, when you put in the time, you put in the labor, and it's not hard. And by the way, she's working only with the clients she wants to work with. She's like, nah, I don't want to meet with that person. And she don't meet with them. Don't you, Tanika?
Sometimes I've kind of messed up here and there. I regret it. So but you still make it now. But you're still making the money. So that's good. It's good. Good. All right. Well, thank you, Tanika. Did you have anything else to add to that? No, that was it. Just the video. Okay. All right.
Well, we are singing your praises, girl. We love you.
Thanks.
All right. So
the long review that you were referring to earlier, it was written by Sequoia Willis. She's here.
Oh, she's in the room?
Yeah, she's in the room.
Sequoia, you there?
Hi.
Hey, I appreciate that review, girl.
Of course, I'm an author too, and I do a lot of coaching services, and I came upon your services in your book. I started with your book, and I'm with EXP, and I sponsor another person who's on the call, Dana Nicholson, and I was looking for a way to help her because she's in a different state. And I came upon your book and I said, you got to read his book. And she went digging and looking you up. And then we both joined your coaching session right now. And I'm impressed. And I relate to it. I'm doing a lot of the things that you're saying, but I respect everything you're doing. And the least that I could do is write you a thorough, passionate review. So thank you for everything you're doing.
Sequoia, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me. These reviews are gold, guys. And thank you, Sequoia, for that.
Of course.
Thank
you.
From the bottom of my heart. Yeah. And if you have a coaching business, you know, any of you, and you feel like some of the content that I bring to you is relevant to your coaching students, use it by all means. I'm happy to have you do that. I mean, that's part of what you're paying for, is the ability to take a lot of the stuff that I do and make it your own. Well, hey, we're out of time, guys. Can you believe that? Eric Garris, I love it. He says, if anyone in this group has found value in anything I've shared, which has been a lot of value, will you please write a review for me and click on that link? So yeah, I'm definitely clicking it right now so I could leave Eric a 5-star review. And I always, it should go without saying, but I always remind my clients and say, hey, would you mind posting a 5-star review? I don't say review, I just say 5-star, you know, and, you know, if you feel that I've lived up to the service, and I typically over deliver, I know you guys do as well. So with that, if you have any questions for me, or, you know, make sure that you upload this week, it's more like it's you getting your reviews. So you can do a screenshot. Hey, I got my 10 reviews in. Does anybody think that that's, that Uncle Knolly's asking for too much? Let me see. No, hold on. Let me look. I don't see you. All right. Is Uncle Knolly asking for too much from you guys? Is it good? Yeah. You're good? Okay. All right. Okay. You guys are good. You know, I don't randomly ask for things, but this is very specific, and I know that this is going to help you grow your business. So with that, I love you. I appreciate you. Join me next week. You're going to be able to ask a lot of the questions that have been pressing on your heart. We might even go over a little bit, maybe an hour and 15 minutes, where you just get to ask any question on your heart. In the meantime, post any questions to the Facebook group. All right. Unmute yourself. I want to hear you. Adios.
Thank you. This was
awesome
Thank you, everyone. You're all so fabulous.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Y'all next
Thank you, Knolly.
Congratulations, new house.